Buddhism is often linked with peace, mindfulness, and, of course, bald monks. One of the world's oldest religions, Buddhism began around 2,500 years ago in India and is now the fourth largest religion, with over 520 million followers, roughly 7% of the global population. The majority of its practitioners live within a single region, meaning if you're outside of it, you might not be familiar with Buddhist beliefs. So, what exactly is Buddhism? Who was the Buddha? And is life really just an endless cycle of suffering, disappointment, and death? Let's find out. The origins of Buddhism. To understand Buddhism, we must travel back in time to around 480 BCE. In what is now Nepal, a prince named Siddhartha Gautama was born into luxury. His father, a powerful ruler, was determined to prevent a prophecy that foretold Siddhartha would become a great spiritual leader instead of a king. To keep him focused on worldly power, his father sheltered him from all suffering. Siddhartha lived in lavish palaces, adorned with the finest clothes and jewels, and was never exposed to sickness, aging, or death, but no amount of protection could suppress Siddhartha's curiosity. At 29, he finally ventured beyond the palace and encountered an old man, a sick man, and a corpse, shocking revelations that shattered his perception of life. Overcome with existential dread, he questioned the meaning of existence. His perspective changed again when he saw a serene monk who had renounced all worldly possessions. Inspired, Siddhartha decided to leave his royal life behind and search for the truth about suffering. For 6 years, he practiced extreme asceticism, joining hermits in the forest who believed that self-denial led to enlightenment. He ate almost nothing, meditated intensely, and pushed his body to the brink of death. But instead of finding answers, his mind became clouded by exhaustion. He realized that neither indulgence nor extreme deprivation was the solution. Instead, he adopted what he called the middle way, a balanced approach to life. Rejuvenated, Siddhartha meditated beneath what is now known as the Bodhi tree, vowing to remain there until he discovered the path to end suffering. After days of deep meditation, he attained enlightenment, achieving a state of profound understanding and peace. He was now the Buddha, the awakened one, the Four Noble Truths. The Buddha didn't keep his insights to himself. Instead, he shared a straightforward guide to overcoming suffering, known as the Four Noble Truths. Life is suffering, dukkha. While this may sound bleak, dukkha doesn't only mean suffering, it also refers to dissatisfaction. Because everything in life is temporary, clinging to anything, youth, wealth, relationships, inevitably leads to disappointment. Desire causes suffering. Humans crave stability, possessions, and permanence, but the world is constantly changing. We suffer because we resist this natural impermanence. There is an end to suffering. By letting go of attachment and desire, we can achieve peace. The path to ending suffering is the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path is a practical guide to achieving enlightenment. It's not a linear journey but rather 8 interconnected principles to be practiced simultaneously. Right view. Accept the Four Noble Truths and understand that suffering can be overcome. Right thought. Cultivate positive thoughts of love, kindness, and compassion, avoiding greed, fear, and hatred. Right speech. Speak truthfully and avoid gossip, lies, and hurtful words. Right action. Live ethically. Practicing nonviolence and kindness. Right livelihood. Choose a profession that aligns with ethical principles and does not harm others. Right effort. foster positive mental states and eliminate harmful ones. Right mindfulness, stay present in the moment, observing thoughts and feelings without attachment. Right concentration, practice meditation to deepen focus and insight. Karma, rebirth, and nirvana. Buddhism also emphasizes karma, the principle that actions have consequences. Good actions create positive outcomes, while harmful actions lead to suffering. Unlike a divine judgment system, karma is seen as a natural law of cause and effect. This cycle of actions fuels samsara. The endless cycle of birth, suffering, death, and rebirth. The only way to escape samsara is to reach nirvana, a state of complete liberation from desire and suffering. Nirvana isn't a place but a state of being, where one is free from the illusions of the self and existence. Different schools of Buddhism. Over time, Buddhism branched into different traditions, the two largest being Theravāda and Mahāyāna. Theravāda, School of the Elders, is the oldest form of Buddhism. It emphasizes meditation, study, and strict adherence to early Buddhist texts known as the Pali Canon. It is practiced primarily in Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Laos. Mahāyāna, Great Vehicle, expands on Buddhist teachings, emphasizing compassion and the role of enlightened beings known as bodhisattvas, those who delay their own enlightenment to help others. Mahāyāna is practiced mainly in China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, and Nepal. Vajrayāna, Diamond Vehicle, often associated with Tibetan Buddhism, incorporates unique rituals, mantras, and meditation techniques to accelerate the path to enlightenment. The Dalai Lama is one of its most well-known figures. Final thoughts. Unlike many religions, Buddhism does not demand strict adherence to rules or belief in a creator God. Instead, it offers a path to understanding and inner peace, allowing individuals to incorporate its teachings in a way that suits their lives. As the Dalai Lama said, if you find that the teachings suit you, apply them to your life as much as you can. If they don't suit you, just leave them be. Buddhism remains one of the world's most influential spiritual traditions, continuing to inspire millions on the journey toward self-awareness, wisdom, and compassion.